That's you. And we could say this is the lid, the protection that we have created. And inside the protection is our full aliveness. Unobstructed, spontaneous, joyful, expansive, creative, crazy aliveness. Or wild, not crazy, more wild. Uncontrolled. Uncontrolled by outer authorities. Yeah? In other words, free. So this is our free, spontaneous, where we feel we are naturally worthy. There's no question, am I worthy or not? Do I have value or don't I have value? Do you think Salihu ever asks himself this question? Do I have value? Of course I have value. The concept value doesn't even exist. It's obvious. Too obvious to have a concept for. So that's the being space. And we use the word essence a lot here. Yeah? So we make this choice, well, if I stay here, I'm going to be lonely and it's not going to be safe, so I'm going to move over here where the other folks are. Like my mother and my father and the world. The world seems to be operating more out here, so I'm going to hang out here as well. Then I'm part of the crowd and I feel included and safe. So it's some benefit. Now I call that mental emotional space. Mental emotional space. Do you know that space? There are feelings and there are thoughts, and these tend to get really mixed up with each other. And then, based on that mix-up of feelings and thoughts, the whole train of the past comes thundering into the station. My feelings, my thoughts, and the thoughts drag up the whole past. Oh, that thing, and those, and them, and da, da, da. And it gets very crowded on the train station. You know this feeling? And then you start dreaming about taking another train far away from this train station. I want to go up in the mountains with a nice view, and it's going to be peaceful, just birds singing. Beautiful sunrise and sunsets and eagles flying, pine trees. Nice, friendly people. So start making this beautiful scenario of how wonderful it's going to be when I just finish this and get out of this station. So bring in the whole future. But what if they won't like me there at that hill station? Maybe they won't include me, and actually maybe I'll get bored there. Maybe it won't be a good place to go. Maybe I should go to Bali instead. Yeah, Bali. But Bali, it's so hot in Bali. So I bring in the future and then I start thinking back and forth, good, wonderful, but maybe not so wonderful. You know that one? So we bring in the whole past, we bring in the whole future, and then we have the present moment mixed up with lots of interpretations. Is that a simple and easy place to live, or a rather complicated and stressful place to live? Or something else? Not sure? Okay.
It does not feel
it does not feel so easy and simple. It's rather complicated. So we get the feeling that life is rather difficult and complicated. Now, who made it complicated? I did. Nobody else makes your life complicated. You do. If your life is complicated, it's made complicated by your mind. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. But what if, parents have done all these horrible things that you ended up feeling like you were really strange and not worthy? So it's sort of difficult as well. It's difficult to get out of something that you've been sort of...
if you think that your parents did horrible things that made you feel unworthy, where are you?
I'm in the mental and emotional.
You're in the mental emotional space and you're creating a lot of pain for yourself. Agree? It's not wrong, but you are doing it because you made that choice when you were a kid. They didn't push you out of here. You made the choice to go out of there. As a 2-year-old, you decided it's safer out here. I'm going to move over here. It was your choice. They didn't grab you and pull you out of there. You made that choice. So as a 2-year-old, it's very difficult to make a different choice because it's about survival. So you do make that choice. And then that's painful, and then we make that lid, protection against the pain. To not feel it. And then, in grown-up life, we're going to feel like that child about to die. As we move through this, we're going to meet those feelings. I'm going to die. Yeah? I am going to die. If I'm honest now, I will die. If I speak from my heart now, I will die. So you're going to meet those feelings. So I talk about most of our choices are subconscious. We are choosing, but we don't know why we're choosing it. I call that choice. You have no idea why you're doing it, but you're still choosing it. It's a subconscious choice. There's another aspect of seeing it as a choice. By having that perspective, I can look for the reason of the choice. And the reason behind the choice is always something positive. So I see the existential reason. Even a 2-year-old has an existential reason. It's not a biological, genetic only. It's an existential one. The wanting to live, the wanting for connection and love and security. So we discover the motivating force, and then we can have compassion with myself. Yes, I did make that choice, and it had all these consequences, but I did it for a good reason. I made that choice. It made sense then. But am I going to continue to make that choice? It made sense when I was 2 years old. Now I'm 48 years old. Am I going to continue to make that choice? Does it make sense still, if I'm still making that choice? That I'm not going to be honest with people, because if I'm honest, then they might exclude me, and then I'll die? Will you die if somebody doesn't want to play with you? No. And still, we continue to make that choice as we were that child, as you said. So by having the perspective of choice, I say, I made that choice then, I made it for a good reason, and now the situation is rather different. My feelings, when I start living from my heart, I will face this layer, and I will feel the feelings of that 2-year-old. But that doesn't mean I am 2 years old. I'm still 48 years old. I will feel like a 2-year-old. And then I can say, I feel like a 2-year-old now when I'm with you. It's amazing. I'm 48 years old. I have 18 years of school and 20 years of all this experience. And I feel now like a scared 2-year-old. That you'll say no to me. It's like I'm going to die if you say no now. It's very fascinating. In this field there is sadness, there is the numbness, the deadness, And then there's the anger for the numbness and deadness. And then there's the anxiety for all of that stuff. So you have these layers of fear, anger, numbness, and sadness. And for some people, the sadness comes before the anger. And for other people, the anger comes before the sadness. You know, it's a little bit different from person to person. But these are the classic layers. Anger, numbness, fear, and sadness, sorrow.